Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this side away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. But get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry green. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Now my wheels in motion and my wind.
Flying into your home like a 1930s train wreck. From the brand new VNL 860 studios. Creating a community of friends and topic-based discussions. This is JJDrones Live.
I'm Karl Marx and I approve this message.
And it's JJDrones Live. Welcome to the train wreck. Thank you everybody for coming in today. Appreciate all of you for being here. We've got Christian from Mainlight Drone. We've got Brian from Cheesehead Media. We got Dan, the droning veteran. We've got baby girl Haley Johnson. We've got Jenny and Steve from Stormy Sky Real Productions. And yes, let's go Pack Go. It's Packers Sunday. We've got Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. We got Chris from Shade Tree America. We've got Tim Loftman. We've also got my dad, Dave Johnson, and Slane 362. Thank you all for being here today. If you would like to have one of your videos featured on my website, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJ Drones related, go to JJDrones360.com. And if you're doing any Amazon shopping, you visit my Amazon links, JJDrones360.com/Amazon1. And if you have any videos you want to feature for Blinker Flute of the Week, email Dan, droningveteran@gmail.com. That is where you can submit your videos. I appreciate all of you for being here today. And I apologize for not being here for the past couple weeks, but a lot of things have been going on, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But if you go to my website right now, you'll find out that there's a whole bunch of brand new stuff that I posted up there today. I did a whole revamping of the Reese Across America portion of the website, so I invite you to go over to JJDrones360.com/Reese/across/America and go check out that portion. There's going to be some exclusive pictures that you're only going to see there right now. All the rest of the pictures that I have, they're going to be released on the day that I release the video, which is going to be Wednesday the 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So make sure that you're here for that. I put a lot of work and time and effort in that video, and the Reese Across America series is a really great series overall, but I'm going to tell you right now that the last video that I did for the series, and there's 2 people that have watched it, and 2 people have told me that it's probably one of my best videos that I've done. So make sure you're here for that on Wednesday. Jeremy, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate being here. Now, what we are here to talk about today is what you can expect when you get your first drone, because there is so much that you need to know, and I can't remember all of it myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our co-hosts, and you're going to have to excuse me. I'm kind of losing my voice today because the Packers, if you didn't know, the Packers beat the Cowboys. So we're going to bring up our co-hosts. Let's say welcome to the big man himself, the one and the only, Brian from Cheesehead Media. And then we've got the one man that is not muted, even though Brian is, Dan, the droning veteran. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here today. I appreciate you being here. It's been a while since we've been together.
It's been a long time.
Yes, and Dan's talking, but we're not hearing him. Yeah. Something's happening with Dan's audio where his microphone keeps shutting off. Susanna, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And Dan is going to work on his audio. So last week I was supposed to be doing this episode, but something didn't work out, and Dan and Brian came in and basically covered my rear end. So I appreciate both of you for doing that. However, I do have a bone to pick with both of you. And Dan, I want you to hear this. Stop making the show look good. I have a level of mediocrity that has come to be known to this show. And when you guys come on and you guys do a professional style performance, you know, you're making me look bad. So, you know.
Well, if you want to look bad, just look in the mirror.
Well, I do that all the time. But no, I appreciate what you guys did last week. And we are going to get to the information on the drones. But before we do that, we do have our Blinker Fluid of the Week segment. And hopefully Dan can get his audio straightened so that he can give us some running commentary on it. But this week, it's a mix between Limburger and Swiss cheese. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Dallas Cowboys lost today. Okay, so that's going to be a running gag pretty much the entire show. So if you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. But here we go with our second installment of Blinker Fluid of the Week. We've got our Blinker Fluid of the Week segment right here. Oh, now I can hear myself.
Sounds like
Why can't I hear myself? Okay. Okay, so that was under Dan. So I muted you, Dan, for right now. Sorry about that. But here is our Blinker Fluid of the Week. Okay, so here is number one. It's just a nice little drive. Dan, I'm still getting an echo on your end. Like really bad. Oh, snap. I don't think that semi is supposed to do that. And here comes the other portion of this. You can see as the car is driving by, there's the semi over there. And I don't see a turn signal on there. Do you, Brian?
Not at all.
Now he's got his turn signal on. It's a little bit too late now. So there's number two. I gotta mute you again, Dan. Oh.
Yeah, we're just not the brightest. No turn signal, nothing. We'll just cut across the
And number three. Now this is at night. This is also a Dan's truck. All the way over to the right turn lane.
At least they weren't moving yet.
That's true. And number four. You see, this one's kind of funky because what they did was reckless and stupid, but it doesn't measure up to the rest of it, in my opinion. It's going to be up to the audience. So here is the bonus round. And check that out. Jeep versus pickup truck. That is just awful.
Watching that one, it's okay. The Jeep is being stupid by having to cut over to exit, but that pickup was racing in that right lane.
Yeah, but you have to understand, Brian, that that's a 75 mile an hour speed zone. So everybody is racing anyway.
I'm just talking about compared to the vehicles around it.
So we've got it. So I'm putting the poll up in the chat for 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to vote for bonus, just put hashtag bonus in the chat, and Dan is going to keep track of our votes here. So vote for your favorite 1, 2, 3, 4, or if the bonus video is your favorite, then I invite you to put bonus in the chat. And we've already got one from Baby Girl. She is voting for the bonus. So what we're actually here to talk about today. Oh, I'm sorry. Anthony Webb, thank you so much for being here, Tony. And Chris Wedgeworth is here. Thank you so much for being here. And Chris from Shade Tree America, thank you for being here. And I would love Gary to come back. And he definitely brought something to the show that is always going to be missing until he's able to come back. And my dad and stepmom are leaving the show to go watch the Lions. And we're going to keep track of the score of the Lions game for anybody that is interested in that game. So no need to take off anywhere. If anything happens, we're going to update the score as the show goes on. But right now we're going to talk about drones. That's what this show is all, or that's what this channel is all about, is drones. And It's a great hobby. It's something that we all enjoy doing. And Brian is pulling one of his out right now. I have all of mine packed away. But let's say you got a drone for your kid, or you got a drone for yourself this Christmas, because everybody was selling drones at a pretty decent price, as far as I'm concerned. And it doesn't have to be a DJI drone. It could be a Holy Stone. It could be an Autel. It could be one of those really cheapy ones that you find in the grocery store or the truck stops, what have you. But drones are pretty much ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And you can pretty much buy one anywhere from $30 up to $30,000. But the one thing that is 100% positive on all of the drones is that the FAA has control over them all. Would that be a correct statement, Brian?
Yes, because they do go into the public airspace. So the FAA has regulations on all of them. And,
I'm sorry, Brian. I have to make this announcement. The Cowboys lost today. Okay, proceed.
Oh, that's fine. You can interrupt me all you want for that. No, I mean, drones are in the public airspace. It doesn't matter the size. I mean, we probably will be discuss the 249 gram rule at some point tonight. And even if you're a sub 249 gram drone, which means it doesn't have to actually physically be registered with the FAA, it's still covered by rules, because the rule states not to register it. So every drone is now covered by the FAA.
Now, Brian, the one thing that you did mention is that, under the 249 gram rule, you definitely have to make sure that, you're being within the rules of the FAA. What is the one thing that every recreational flyer must do before they fly a drone?
Take a trust test.
Oh, the trust test. They make it sound so nice and fluffy and beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's all about trust, right?
It is. I don't even know what trust stands for, but it is a very, very simple test that you need to take. It's free. In fact, trying to pull up the link right now of the FCC website, and it is probably one of the simplest things you can do. So what is trust? It's a law that requires all recreational flyers pass an aeronautical knowledge and safety test. Basically, again, we want to point out that we're not lawyers, we're not FAA officials. This is just knowledge that Jason and I have gathered, and Dan, from doing this for a number of years, long before a lot of these rules were in place. But it's like a 10-question test. I believe it's multiple choice, and you just get a little certificate that you print out, or you can just keep a PDF version on your smartphone, whatever you want to do. It just says, yeah, you're smart enough to fly a drone. Don't fly if you're drunk. Don't fly above 400 feet. Don't fly it into people. I mean, it really is the basics of basics, but it is a requirement. And I think there's good knowledge in there on what you should and shouldn't do. And if you go to the FAA and just Google FAA trust, they'll bring you to this page. And if I scroll down, here is a list of the FAA approved test administrators. So, I mean,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Dan.
We can hear you, Dan.
But basically, you click on one.
No echo.
And you
no echo.
So, yeah. Here it is. Beginning exam.
So here's the thing that most pilots that are Part 107 pilots, that they don't really understand this part. But if you are a Part 107 pilot and you continue, or that you want to fly recreationally, you also have to take the trust test.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Now, Chris said that he failed it. I don't believe you, Chris. East Coast Thrills, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being here. And Tony is going off to bed. He's in Warren, Michigan. So thanks for coming in, Tony. Sorry you have to go to bed so early, but I appreciate you coming in anyway. So the trust test is important because it basically teaches you the basics on flying a drone legally. Now, if you're going to get up into the plus 249 gram mark, there is something that you're going to need to know, and we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But Brian, what do you have up there now?
This is the course, which is about a 10-minute video that you watch before you take the trust test. So they give you all the answers. You watch a video, and then you take the test afterwards. I mean, it just doesn't get simpler than anything else. And you have to take it through one of these, like I said, one of the providers that were on the stream before. It's
Okay,
super simple.
So this is for anything sub 249. Remember that. That is the magic number, sub 249. Anything over 249 grams, now you're going to get into a completely different scenario. And
Not the trust test. The trust test is for all of them.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have to take the trust test no matter what if you're a recreational flyer.
Correct.
But after you get past the 249, then you have to add on another little nugget.
Yes. And that is registration.
Registration and, Dan?
You know what? Stupidness. Yeah.
Remote.
Remote ID. No. No. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Remote ID.
Right. Now, the remote ID requirement is pretty dumb. And right now, I think that I'm losing my feed to the internet. So, let me double check here. If anybody thinks that, or if anybody sees that I'm losing the feed, please point that out to me, because I can see on my screen that it gives me the YouTube circle of death. So definitely let me know if it is happening on your end. Okay, so we're still good. Okay. Logan is watching the video feed from his end. So far so good. Now, with the remote ID, it was supposed to be something that was going to be cheap. It was going to be affordable. It was going to be something that everybody can go out there and buy for their drones, and buy it rather quickly. But what the FAA has found out is that it didn't quite work that way, did it, Brian?
No.
In fact, Dan, do you recall doing a live stream back in December or January where we actually talked about remote ID and the issues that we had trying to get those remote ID units to the drones?
Update. Crappy.
So now, if you have a DJI drone, you're pretty much covered. All of the DJI drones that I think from the Mavic 2 Pro series all the way up to the newer drones now are all remote ID compliant if you do the update on your drones. Let's see here.
I believe that is correct.
East Coast Thrills, tired of watching every make money, tired of doing concrete and killing my back. Oh, okay, sorry. He said that he is studying for his Part 107, but he's a slow learner through Pilot Institute. And Pilot Institute is a fantastic place to sign up, because they give you a lot of study material, and Pilot Institute actually gives you a money-back guarantee that if you don't pass your Part 107 exam, that they give you your money back. But Pilot Institute also administers the trust test, and that's where I passed my trust test exam. Now, the one thing that you have to understand with the 249-gram drones is that they're not going to put the information on the box. This is something that you have to know ahead of time. You can't just go out there, buy the drone, and then take it home and fly it however you want. And then if somebody says, well, you're not in compliance and we're going to take your drone, or, or they're going to do something like fine you, the FAA can actually fine you $10,000 per occurrence when it comes to your Part 107. I'm not really sure what the fines are for not complying with remote ID or not complying with the trust test, but I'm sure that they're not going to be cheap. Your first time's probably just going to be a warning. You can pretty much bet on that. But let's see here. Johnny Drone Flyer, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And Chris is tired of fixing trucks that drivers keep breaking.
I'm good at that. Especially if you put me in a Volvo. I break those all the time.
I love my Volvo. But, so here's the thing. Now, Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. Because with the FAA actually suspending the rule for the remote ID modules that go on the drones, I think we have until basically September that people are guessing, because the FAA didn't do like a solid date that the extension was going to go for. So as of right now, anybody that does not have a remote ID that wants to fly, you still have to try and get the remote ID, but you do have a grace period right now.
My understanding is that it was 6 months, so that would have been in March.
Okay, so Johnny has the answer right there. Johnny Drone Flyer says March 16th.
But they didn't really suspend the rule. It's still there. It's still in effect. They have suspended enforcement of it.
Right.
So if they come out, they're not going to fine anyone for not having it or anything. They're just going to say, hey, take care of it as soon as possible. And even that March 16th number may get pushed back. We don't know. I mean, I don't think they didn't announce until like the day before that they were pushing it back to begin with. So.
Okay. So Johnny Drone Flyer says that is the enforcement date. So definitely get your ducks in a row before the 16th, because you don't want to be going out there flying with a drone that you don't necessarily have to get into trouble with. Or if you're a recreational flyer and you have a drone like Brian just showed with the sub 249-gram drones, go ahead and show that again.
Sure.
So right there on the drone, it just shows that it's a 249-gram drone. Now, if you have the Mini 4, the Mini 4 Pro, and you have the extended batteries, you are not going to be sub 249. You have to have the regular drone that doesn't have the extended battery.
Just trying to find the camera. There we go. So, obviously this one makes it heavier. This one does not. So.
Now, Johnny actually makes a good point if you're not Part 107. Now, the other thing that you have to remember, and again, we're not lawyers, we're just going based on the knowledge that we have, so don't take any of this as legal advice. Just take it as a couple of drone flyers that have information that we've learned over the period of time, and we're just trying to share it with people so that they know what they're getting themselves into. Hey, thank you so much for coming in, Ken. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you so much for being here. So, if you're going to be a recreational flyer and you don't want to have a remote ID, what is the other option that they have, Brian?
I'm not really sure.
FRIAs.
Because it's not something that really ever has applied to me. I hate to see. I mean, if the rule doesn't apply to me, I just kind of forget it.
Okay, so we've got FRIA zones, and those FRIA zones are going to be areas that you can fly your drone, and you can basically fly in circles and take pictures of the same circle all day long.
Again, if it doesn't apply to me,
We like circles.
Hey, Dan, sing that song again. That was so great.
We like circles. Circle, circle, circle.
Hey, Dan, did you know the Cowboys lost today?
They did? Cool. Even though I'm not a Cowboys fan.
So,
But I'm not a Packers fan either.
well, you are today.
Today. I'm surrounded by Packers fans. I wouldn't know.
You are. But, so the FRIA zones are going to be areas that you can fly. Those are areas that you're going to have to look up on the FAA's website because it's not something that they actually advertise. It's not like there's going to be a billboard that says, come and fly in this FRIA zone. You have to actually do some research and find out where you're going to be able to fly that. Now, if you do have a remote ID and you did take the trust test and then you want to fly your drone remote or wherever, as long as you have that remote ID and the remote ID is working and you are following all the rules that the FAA has set forth and you have checked your airspace and make sure that you're not flying anywhere that you're not allowed to fly, there's a couple of apps that you can use to check your airspace. And one of the apps that I use is the Before You Fly app. And you can find that through the App Store on Apple, or you can get it through the Play Store on Google. And then the other one that you can use is, what's the other one, Brian?
well, there's a couple of them. There's air control. It was originally Kitty Hawk. That's
the one that I was thinking of.
Okay. I was also thinking of another one that I use all the time, and that's UAV Forecast.
Okay, yeah, UAV Forecast is a great app. It used to have a lot more information on it for free, but now if you're going to use it, you basically have to pay to have a lot more information than what it gives you as a free user. But I mean, if you want to just check the weather on where you're going to fly,
They all want your money.
Oh, they do want your money. And it'll actually show you on the phone. Well, probably won't focus. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now that it's focused, it'll actually show you whether it's good to fly or not for your drone. And you can actually set certain parameters on there, like what you want your minimum satellites to be. You can put the minimum or maximum winds that you want it to be. You can set all that up so that when you go out and you want to fly, this will actually tell you whether or not the weather is going to be good for that. So UAV Forecast is a great resource. And then Before You Fly is also a good resource right now. Where we're flying, it says that we're clear for takeoff. And this is the app that the FAA actually encourages people to use. It is not perfect in any stretch of the imagination, and DJI doesn't necessarily always agree with it. And Johnny Drone Flyer also says Aloft is a good app to use, and that is also correct. So you got Aloft, you got Before You Fly. I've used AirMap in the past. I didn't really have such good luck with AirMap, so just do your research and find a good app so that you can know exactly where you're flying.
Well, AirMap was great.
I think
they're no longer.
I think
they're no longer offering it to individuals. It's enterprise use only.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, I think AirMap went like bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because I like their grid square indications a lot better than Aloft's.
Okay. All right.
That could be a long argument. They'll bore people.
So now, what you have your drone, you're basically doing all the rules. You're making everybody happy. But then you take your footage and you want to put it online. And then when you put it online, you come to find out that you are in violation because you do not have your Part 107 license. The FAA are basically our overlords in the drone community, if that would be the correct way to describe them. They have given us some guidance here. It's called In Furtherance of a Business. Now, this is coming from a law firm. Now, again, we're not lawyers, so just take this for what it's worth. But in the 2011 Gilbert Legal Interpretation, the FAA stated that flight incidental to the airman's employment or the business the airman intends to conduct, even if the flight is not required by the airman's business, will be considered in furtherance of a business. As a result, a sport pilot would be prohibited from conducting this type of flight. The FAA explained further in the 2012 Allen, I don't even know how to pronounce that, legal interpretation, that a flight would therefore be considered to be in furtherance of a business if it were conducted for a business purpose, even if the flight is only incidental to that business purpose. Now, right there is where the FAA can actually get you. Because even though this is, if you're flying your drone and you're just doing it for fun, it says even if the flight is only incidental to that business purpose. So it doesn't matter whether you're actually a part of YouTube's paid portion of it or Facebook or whatever. The FAA could come back and tell you that you are in furtherance of the business of YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and it could get you in trouble. So the best thing that you can do to cover your rear end is go out there and get your Part 107 license. Brian, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree with that. And I've heard both arguments. One of them is the argument you're making that you're furthering the business of Facebook by doing it, but you're not employed by Facebook. The argument that I hear that's against is that you're not employed by YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or any of these other companies. Therefore, you're just sharing your videos as if you are a person in the public. It'd be the same as taking my camera, standing on a bridge and taking a photo downward. I'm doing the same thing with the drone. I'm just using a mobile camera. So that's the argument saying that you don't. And then you have the argument saying that you are furthering a business because at some point a business is making a profit on this. At that point, how far do you stretch that out? If you're sharing it over the internet, you could say you're furthering the business of your internet provider by paying them to have internet service and sending a photo across. So, I think there's going to be legal precedent on that at some point in time. Whether or not you want to be that legal precedent is going to be up to you. But I'm going to say that I think there's, for the FAA to actually want to come after a person who, hey, look, I got a new drone. I flew it over my house, or I'm flying it over my kid's baseball game. Here's the, all the 8-year-olds standing in the ball diamond. I took a photo and I emailed it to some of the other parents. That's going to be a tough sell, whether or not you're furthering a business with that, or sharing that with your friends and family. Here's Johnny, or here's Susie and her friends playing soccer. I get maybe if you dive really deep into the legal of the law, you might be furthering a business, but you're going to have to really draw attention to yourself for that to come to effect. So I don't see that as a problem. But again, we're not lawyers. I think you could actually probably get lawyers on either side to debate this one as well, if it's furtherance of business or not.
Dan, do you want to add anything to that?
Oh, I agree with Brian, but 100%. I mean, YouTube ain't paying me. Facebook don't pay me. whatever's. But
Now,
No,
if you're I mean, really, you're not furthering the business. Yeah, they post YouTube, but I mean, everybody can post a YouTube video. YouTube just found a way to make money off of it. Same with Facebook
Right.
and Instagram and everybody else, by forcing people to watch ads. So it's really, I don't see it as furthering a business. Now, if you're going out and dive bombing crowds of people with your drone and posting it on Facebook, or YouTube, they're going to come after you. And I think they could probably, I mean, they might be able to throw in furtherance of a business on you, but you're not going to, somebody going out flying legally and, not spying on people, even though everybody thinks you're spying on them, but
Right.
yeah. I mean, I've had people come up to me, why are you guys, like you're spying, but then they look at the screen, and you see that person over there? Where? Yeah, it's a little pinprick in my screen. Yeah, I'm really
Right.
spying on, But no, I don't think that anybody'd come after you. Now, if you're doing something stupid, I can see them putting it, they could push that. I mean, there's an argument for it, but they're not going to seek you out and destroy you over it.
Brian, you were going to add something to that.
I'm actually thinking maybe that this furtherance of a business, it's going to be more of it's one of those add-ons. You're driving too fast conditions, you're rear-ending the vehicle in front of you. All of a sudden, there's the add-on. Hey, you weren't wearing a seatbelt. It's one of those add-on charges. If anything, I don't.
Okay.
But if you are, in Part 107 licensed, and you are, or in your case, Jason, you are monetized on YouTube, and you don't have your 107. Well, YouTube is now paying you for your videos, so therefore, they're going to come for you. So that's something to pay attention to when you get to that point of maybe monetizing yourself. Maybe go and get your 107 before that happens. Yeah, exactly. Like just don't draw attention to yourself.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Don't draw attention to yourself, and don't go out there and just be a jerk. If you're going out there and there's a whole bunch of people around, and there's been several times where I've gone through, and you can go back and watch some of my FPV videos that I've done over in the park, or the playground right across the street. And if I see some people over there, I'll go over there and I'll say, hey, I want to fly my drone. I'm just going to be flying over here. If it's okay with you guys. If it's not, that's fine. I'll come back another time. You know what I mean? It's not life or death flying your drone. You can find other places to fly. There's not necessarily, unless it's like life or death, but there really isn't any life or death scenario that you need to actually be a jerk to other people. The best thing that you can do as a drone pilot, even if you're brand new and you're just getting into the hobby, the best thing to do is kill people with kindness. The one thing that I did when I was over at Dave's Falls, there was this group of women that were up there in Madison, or from Madison, and they wanted to get a group picture up on the rock over by the falls. And so they were trying to do it with their cell phones. And I said, excuse me, ladies, I've got this drone here. I do drone photography and drone videos. If you would like, I'll take a picture for you guys and, give you something to take home. And they said, sure. So I took the drone photo, I transferred it over to my phone, and then I texted it to the ladies, and they were happy as could be. So that was just one way that we can put our best foot forward as drone pilots in the community and give people a positive look on drone pilots, not the look that we get where people, I've also had it the other way. I took off over there in Escanaba, Michigan, and I was going to fly a lighthouse, And the first thing that somebody said that was on a boat is, uh-oh, perverts out. No, I'm taking video of the lighthouse.
Yep. Yeah, I've never had anybody like that before. And I've never had anybody like accuse me of spying and there's been a couple that are not, they don't know anything about drones, so they're a little bit scared of drones, and then, you know, I take them over and show them my screen and say, look, this is, and then they're just amazed with it, so.
Or even let them take control of the sticks. You know, Logan had his first shot at flying FPV this week, and he absolutely loves it. So, you know, he's going to be, you know, the first taste is free, and then after that...
Lots of it.
But East Coast Thrill says that's why I'm getting my 107 to monetize mine and son's YouTube channel. And now, with the Part 107, Christian had a question earlier on in the program before we even fired it up, saying that he needs to renew his Part 107, and he wanted to know how difficult it was. And I can tell you right now, renewing your Part 107 is going to be the easiest thing that you can do because you cannot fail the test. It's multiple choice. It's all online. You don't have to pay for it. And if you miss a question, it will tell you what you missed and then let you go back and change it. So your Part 107 is the easiest thing that you're going to do. Not only that, but Ken Herron has a video on him going and doing his recurrent for his Part 107 test. So you can actually watch his video and go ahead and you know, take the test while you're watching Ken take the test, and you can basically do it that way if you wanted. But before you actually take the test, you have to actually go through like 30 slides of information. So definitely, Christian, set yourself, I'd say about an hour and a half to 2 hours one day so that you can go through all those slides. And then as soon as you're done with that, and Logan, not those kind of slides. So go ahead and go through all the slides, and then set yourself up for the test. You have to, 2 hours, Christian, because you have to go through all the information, and then after you go through the information, then you got to take the test. So figure about an hour and a half for the information. Then the test itself is 100 questions, I do believe, and it's all multiple choice, and you have to get 100%. But like I said, if you get a question wrong, you get to go back and fix the answer, and then as soon as you're done, you're good for 2 more years. In fact, there's been a couple of times that I've just taken the test just to take the test, so I'm good for 2 years from that date. And I do believe you have 90 after you take the test, you can take it again 90 days afterwards. Brian, do you know if that's true or not for sure? You're muted.
Hey, look at that. Yeah,
There you go.
No, I don't know. Haven't had to renew yet, so I keep renewing other licenses I have, but not that one.
Well, definitely if you renew early, renew often.
Oh, like voting in Chicago.
Oh. Hey, Cowboys lost.
Hey. Well, I heard a Great Bear joke, but I can't repeat it because I think it'll go against your community standards everywhere.
Right. Well, we don't want to go against any community standards now that now they say that I'm monetized, and don't get anything wrong here. I've hit the 3,000 hour threshold, guys, and the 3,000 hour threshold just means that I can get super chats, I can put a store up, or I can put a storefront up on the on the YouTube site. I don't have a storefront set up yet. I don't know if I ever will. and then memberships. You can set up memberships. Now, I'm not going to do memberships because I don't think they make any sense. But what I did do is today I went out and I revamped the website. So definitely go over to the website, JJDrones360.com. At the top of the page, you're going to see contributors to the channel. You're going to see channels like Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. You're going to see Brian, his channel up there. You're going to see Dan's channel up there. And they're clickable links. So all you have to do is click on one of those links and it'll bring you right to their channel so you can go check all of their great videos that they have on their channels. So you can definitely go on there and check that out. I also, as I said earlier, I revamped the Wreaths Across America portion of the website. It's JJDrones360.com. Haley's putting the links up, JJDrones360.com/Wreaths-Across-America. And you can go check out all of the videos from the Wreaths Across America series that we did so far this year, that we raised enough money to donate 320 wreaths to that great organization. And so we did that. Oh, thank you, Dan.
Oh, Dave, before I forget, Jason.
Yes.
What does the Dallas Cowboys defense and a flaming bag of poo have in common?
I have no idea.
Or actually, I should say, what is the difference between the bag?
Oh, jeez. Joni Drone Flyer, thank you so much. I appreciate that for the $2 super chat. Really do appreciate it. And just in case you guys are not aware, I told everybody this when I did the 3,000-hour live stream, is that every single penny that I make through the super chats is going right into the channel, whether that be putting money towards a drone, whether that be to help pay for the website, to pay for the StreamYard, all of the things that we pay on a regular basis. I mean, doing this for YouTube is not a cheap endeavor the way that I do it. But I do it the way that I do it because I want to put the best product out there for all of you. And, Brian and Dan get to, enjoy some of the little perks as well. In fact, making fun of me is the biggest perk that they get to do on a regular basis.
For sure.
If only they knew about our non-on-the-air text chats that we have.
True. And we do need to bring back the JJ Drones After Dark, and we'll probably start doing that again after I get done with training. Next week is going to be Logan's last week of training, so next week Sunday, make sure you make it here. Bring your questions. I want to grill Logan in the hot seat, so bring your questions and make sure to be ready to ask him as many questions as you possibly can for the full hour.
The full hour. How many blinks should a blink turn blink if a blink goes and makes a lane change? I don't know.
We're still going to do the blinker fluid of the week, so he's got at least 15 minutes that he doesn't have to answer questions. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. And according to Logan, he says, don't do that. So, but definitely go and check it out. Be here Wednesday. Definitely be here Wednesday. Dan, you got a sneak preview of what's coming up Wednesday. What did you think of the video?
I thought it was amazing. Brought a tear to my eye. Seriously. I mean, it's a tearjerker. I'm not gonna lie.
It's something that I put a lot of work into. It's probably got the most cuts in it that I've ever done because I wanted to get it down to right around the 30-minute mark. So it is going to be right around 30 minutes. So don't think that it's going to be a short video, but I think it's worth all 30 minutes. Dan?
I agree.
And
I agree. Maybe that 31-minute mark, though. I don't know.
Haley got to see it too, but Haley says Wednesdays. Oh, here we go. Haley says, well, jeez, here we go. Haley says Wednesday's video is going to need tissues, people. Plus, it's one show my wife can get annoyed with me watching. Let me know the info on your show, and I will add it to the drone live stream guide. All right. Thank you, Johnny Drone Flyer. Email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. Haley, will you put my email address up on the screen for Johnny? And I will email you all of the information that you would like, my friend. I really appreciate that. We don't always talk drones on this channel, but I like to, do drones talks every once in a while. We do basic, everyday conversations. We have a lot of fun, and we try and do topic-based discussions. And we sometimes fall flat on our face, but that's what makes us the train wreck that we are, and we love what we do. Okay, all of the time.
Okay, it's better. We got it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we all met because of flying drones. If
Yes.
it wasn't for having that common interest, we wouldn't be here talking with each other. And for some reason, I don't understand why there's 9 people watching right now, 12, something like that actually want to watch us talk to each other. That blows my mind. I thought I was boring enough on my own, but
Well, we have a lot of fun.
Stormy Sky. I won't mention any names, Stormy Sky, but you all need to get a life, Stormy Sky.
Hey, TJ FPV, thank you so much for coming in. Not sure if you know this, but Cowboys lost. And if the Packers win again next Sunday, I'm going to continue on that fun little joke that will continue to go on forever. But we do have our blinker fluid of the week. Dan, do you know how many people voted for the bonus?
I've only seen one for the bonus.
Okay, so we've got one for the bonus.
Miss Haley Johnson, but I didn't see any others.
Okay, well, everybody has their blinker fluid votes in, and we have a unanimous, well, not unanimous, but we do have a very, very strong winner for this one. And the winner for this week's blinker fluid of the week is number 1. Number 1, you won.
Not the Packers.
You won the Limburger and Swiss Cheese Blinker Fluid of the Week award. And it's very well deserved. Dan, don't break the bottle of blinker fluid. You know how much money I spent on that?
There's a lot.
I mean, I spent yeah, exactly. I spent 0. And let's see here. Hey, Mom. My stepmom came in and says, hey, kiddo, just watching between you and the Lions. No problem. And if you are wondering what the Lions-Rams game is, the Lions are up 14-10. 14-10. So definitely go off after you're done watching this. If you're not going to watch this in a replay, go watch the Lions take on the Los Angeles Rams, because it's going to be
in a replay. I'd watch it in a replay.
Well, yeah, I'd rather you watch the replay.
Watch the replay. More entertaining.
But we are getting to the end of the show. We got just a couple more minutes left. So as I do every single Sunday, we're going to start off with Dan and then work to Brian, and then I'll give you my last words. So Dan, what are your last words for today?
Drive safe, fly safe. Know where you can fly, know where you can't, and don't fly there. Kind of like driving.
Brian.
Yeah, go Brian.
I have 3 words. Go, Pack, go.
What?
Thank you, East Coast Thrills. I appreciate that. And I appreciate, we do have some new faces. Well, you can't really call them faces, but we do have some new names in the crowd tonight. I always appreciate all of you that come in, and I do appreciate the super chat from East Coast Thrills. I really do appreciate that. We are going to be back here every single Sunday as long as I don't get into hot water or bad weather. Karl Marx, he finally showed up. Thank you so much for checking in. He's going to get a hold of me this week. He probably is going to apologize because he's been ignoring me since Christmas. So, Karl Marx, you're in trouble. And let me just double check something. No, I'm sorry. It was Johnny Drone Flyer that did the super chat. Johnny Drone Flyer. I apologize. I'm not used to doing the super chats, and that's my bad. I do apologize for that. But Johnny Drone Flyer was the one that did the super chat. I do appreciate that so much. And like I said, we're going to put all that money back into the channel, and hopefully at some point in time in the future, we'll get completely monetized, and then we'll be able to do some really fun and educational things with drones and drone flying. I still have a lot more tests to do with the Mini 4, so there's a lot of stuff that is coming up this year, and there's something that I'm working on for Reefs Across America for Memorial Day that I'm hoping to get done by then. I can't talk about it, but I will tell you right now that if I do get it done, it will be a game changer for donations. So just keep an eye out for when I'm able to do an announcement on that. Go check out the website, JJDrones360.com. Go check out the Facebook page and the Instagram, JJDrones360. And I appreciate all of you so much for being here. Brian, Dan, you're my brothers. I love you, and thank you for being here. And thank all of you in the audience for being here. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, everybody.